So our first guest of the evening is a talented artist whose work is influenced by his background in architecture and a lifelong fascination with science fiction.
His latest exhibition, which is currently on display in London, explores the future of mankind. Islam Channel Sadia Chowdhury went along to its launch.
Islam meets science fiction at the London Rich Mix's latest art exhibition. This is Khyle Raja, the architect/artist who spent months creating a display that gives conventional Islamic artists a run for their paintbrushes. Irregular lines interrupted by curves somehow make sense. Khyle's work is a blend of his experience as an architect, his faith as a Muslim, and a fascination for science fiction. It all makes the display refreshing, and the word unconventional keeps coming to mind. This is the work of someone with an exceptional imagination. The precision in Khyle's art is unique, pioneering, and simply breathtaking.
Khyle is a really uniquely talented artist. He isn't an Islamic artist in the conventional sense of the term. He brings such a fresh approach and a dynamic approach to art. So the canvas, it has a lot of depth to it. You can reach in to his world, and it's like you're walking in his mind. It's like a mind map. So it is absolutely extraordinary, and it's something that you will never see anywhere else.
A lot of his works are very Da Vinci-esque. It reminds me of a lot of old drawings that Da Vinci used to do of dissections, and there's a lot of nature to it, and I'm a huge fan of 19th century etchings and engravings, so he's managed to merge all of that, and so I'm finding his work quite refreshing, and I think I've never seen anything like this before, so I can see a huge pathway, if you like, of this kind of art growing, and Khyle being the forefront of it.
Khyle Raja. Aerosol Arabic, Soul City presents The Soul in the Machine.
At the launch of his exhibition, Khyle gave visitors a live demonstration, with a poetry recitation providing ambience and graffiti artist Muhammad Ali contributing colour. The collection, aptly entitled Soul in the Machine, is on display until the 26th of August.
Fantastic looking exhibition there. Welcome to the show, the man behind it, Khyle Raja. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Superb.
Great to have you here. So, Khyle, just tell us first of all, fascinating clip that was. Really impressive. Well done on all that lovely art that you created. So, what is it about science and architecture and that fusion that fascinates you so much?
I think it's a really incredible medium, science fiction, to explore really cutting-edge new ideas, and as Muslims I feel like we haven't really tapped into it. We love science fiction, we love to read about it, we love to see it in films, but have we used it ourselves to explore our own actual spiritual relationship with our own creator, with technology, with our world? I don't think we have, and so this exhibition was really an exploration of that, using science fiction as like a vehicle to explore some really interesting ideas.
That is really interesting. Are you a Doctor Who fan?
You must be.
I grew up actually quite afraid of Doctor Who, Star Trek.
I was afraid of the Daleks.
Star Wars, all of it. Yeah, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't.
I mean, look, the exhibition looks fairly complicated. I mean, it's a lot of planning on it. How long has it taken you to get there?
It's been a long time coming. It's been a good year of direct sort of build-up, working with the gallery, working with the Arts Council England, who supported the exhibition, and then rehearsing and getting together, as we saw in the video, Muhammad Ali, David J as a poet, myself, and bring us together on a fusion of live art.
How difficult is to fuse with other artists?
It's an interesting balance. Sometimes you have to compromise on what your particular vision might be, but you learn a lot from another artist. They actually key in on different kinds of ideas, representations, way of bringing people into a work. So I learned a lot working with Mohammed. It's a different style of work. Working with David, he's a lyricist. So it's been a great learning curve. It always is.
So that's really interesting. So you actually work with Muhammad Ali, who's
right.
not the CEO of Islam Channel, but the artist.
and not the boxer for that much either.
And not the boxer either. Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And David J as well, right?
Yeah,
right.
David J. Yeah, he's a resident artist, as am I with Soul City, and Muhammad actually is the artistic
director. What was that
of Soul City Arts. I mean, David actually is a really quite incredible character. He's been a big supporter of the work, and he's a real visionary lyricist. I mean, he responded to the work, and he's got 6 poems actually installed within the exhibition with key drawings. And one of them's even 10 minutes long. I mean, there's some really brilliant work he's written specifically.
I mean, I've heard him. He is quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, you know, collaboration is a word that in the Muslim world is not very strongly, you know, we see very
collaborated.
Often. Yeah, not collaborated.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's good to see what you're doing. Why is it so important, do you think, to bring others on board?
I think actually it just opens your mind to different types of ideas that you wouldn't have embraced. I think if we are too single-minded about our own artwork, our own vision, we start to kind of lose track of why it is we brought it to people in the first place, and we lose touch with what people might want to see. Other artists who are working in cutting-edge fields, they bring their own skills with them.
I mean, one of my favourite pieces that you've done is actually the desert, and I mean, we're seeing on the screen right now. Tell us more about that. What inspired you?
The desert's really a response to our world as it is now. It's looking at the dunya as a kind of a giant system of machines, and it's talking about ideas.
What's going on there? I mean, we're looking at it right now on the screen. So
yeah, you're seeing like a whole vast array of machines that are consuming. They're building new versions of themselves, and it really is an investigation to say that is in a way a utopian, wonderful vision of the future, but also it can actually be a trap, because within that you don't know where human beings can become lost within this
What about the
world.
piece called The Crucibles?
And the Crucibles is really where you start to bridge the spiritual and technological, and it's about saying that within this world of machinery, if you start to break apart some of those processes, how do you represent revelation in a technological world? What is it to say that outside of time and space, something comes into a code-based world like ours? What is that? And for me, the Crucibles is like that emerging light.
But one thing about the Crucibles that really stands out to me, I'm not an art expert, but you use a lot of dark colours in there, lots of contrasting colours. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's very heavy. I kind of feel that to highlight something that's really important, you have to frame it in the right place. Science fiction was the context. Within that drawing, for example, it is very heavy, there's a lot of matter, a lot of going on, but within that is something very beautiful, and that for me is what Iman is. When you put it in that world of science fiction, you're trying to really not just illustrate an idea, but try and actually further your understanding of it. That's what it's...
What does the future hold? I mean, what day is he going to be?
Well, who knows? I haven't designed a machine to do that, unfortunately. But I mean, the future for me holds further exhibitions. I'd love to take this work into animation, into film. I think film is a really incredible field that Muslims haven't tapped into, and I would love to take this and turn it into a multi-sensory world. That's the next step for me with the collection.
Jazakallah khair. Well, listen, we'll obviously get some more details about the exhibition once again. It's a Rich Mix. It's running until the 27th of August.
Yes, that's right.
And people can go along. Is it open any time?
It's open any time, 7 days a week. Rich Mix is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And you can get in touch with me.
Jazakallah khair.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Khyle.
Are you got any unusual food combinations?
Food combinations. I like to have potato waffles with curries instead of bread.
That sounds quite useful to me. Not.
That's our question today of the story of the day.